My name is Karen Taylor, and I'm coming to you today to talk to you about why the criminal justice system doesn't work for our youth. First, I want to point out the fact that most people don't even understand what happens to young people who are locked up. Upon entering prison, juvenile, the first thing they do to you is dehumanize you by stripping off all of your clothing, all of your underwear, and then they violate you by looking at your body. They make you bend over and expose your genitals, which any underage youth, this is molestation. So having been that youth and having been molested, it was just more of the same. You know what I'm saying? And they take away your power. They devalue you. They do dehumanize you by stripping you naked, just like they did the slaves when they sold them on a slave block. Probing, looking in your mouth, having you pull your cheeks apart, stick out your tongue behind your ears, lift your breasts. Every type of violation takes place upon entering into this system. And it's done for a reason. It's done to break you down and make you feel powerless, make you feel hopeless. That's how it begins. And I want to tell you that incarceration is harmful to all youth and all people, really, because not only do they devalue you, degrade you, and dehumanize you by the strip searches which they repeat and perpetuate anytime they so choose. They breed hate into you. They treat you bad, they hate you, they punish you beyond what your sentence required or called for when you were sentenced in a court of law. They try to make you think that they're your God, and they break you down mentally, psychologically, physically. They tell you when to go to the bathroom, when to eat, when to wake up, when to walk, when to do anything. You have no sense of humanity, no sense of self. Everything is a program, and you're just a number. My institutional number, I'll never forget it because they pounded it into me, 643-831, inmate Taylor. And so they take away your humanity upon being incarcerated. Then they breed hate into you by treating you less than human, by discriminating against you because of who you are. Don't be gay or a lesbian because you get discriminated on double, and it's like, it's just inhumane. It's psychological torture, and it's very traumatic. It's not only traumatic for the inmate, the child, it's traumatic for the child's family. I remember one time my mother couldn't even come and visit me because she accidentally forgot that she had a quarter in the pocket of her sweater. So that was after waiting 2 weeks to see her. That was hard on me. I was already in isolation. At age 17 or 18, they put me in isolation, which is called Intensive Management Unit, or IMU, for 17 months straight, where I only came out of my cell for 1 hour a day, if I got that. Most of it was based on my behavior, my mouth, what I said to them, and how I acted during the day. Show whether I was going to come out of my cell that day. A lot of days I didn't get to come out at all because of my behavior. So I was angry, I was hurt. And, I didn't have my family there to protect me. I didn't have my mother or my father to protect me. I was just caught up in a system that didn't love me, didn't nurture me at a young age. and they stunted my growth. I didn't grow. I didn't thrive like normal teenage children are supposed to thrive. Instead, I was abused. I was ganged up on by several officers. I had to defend myself, and it was horrible, and I'll never forget it. How when I was in school, the teachers didn't pay attention to me, didn't care to know that I had been sodomized, that I had been being raped and molested on a regular basis. They didn't care to find out. They just cast me out and considered me a failure, and tried to put me in special ed, even though my grade point average in 7th grade was 3.83. I was so smart, they put me up from the 7th grade to the 9th grade. I skipped the whole 8th grade. That's how intelligent I was. But they didn't affirm my leadership skills. They didn't affirm me as a child. They didn't affirm my dreams, my aspirations, or anything. All they did was tear me down and try to make me feel like I had no other recourse but to join the other kids that had been kicked out of school and start smoking weed and drinking and taking pills and using drugs and getting involved in sex at a young age and stuff like that. I was already somebody's sex toy, from the rapes and the molestations and stuff. So I don't know, it was horrible.